I've never tried to get pregnant and started trying at 41.
Welcome back to my channel. This is Nicola and my husband Pedro. We've just come back from having a great Christmas. Here I am choosing our very first Christmas tree, real Christmas tree. We're so excited to have it. The smell, the grandeur, we were just in our absolute element. And when my husband saw it and saw that we were actually going to get it and take it home, he was like, wow, beautiful. And so it came home with us. Yeah, we had a few challenges and a few issues, but it was a great distraction away from the IVF journey, just to be able to be present with one another, with our families throughout the holidays, and to celebrate the real reason for the season, which is Jesus. It took us a little while to get all the decorations on the tree, because as you can see, it was a big one. Then we enjoyed some beautiful seafood. I even managed to get a little bit of baking going on with my famous Terry's chocolate orange cheesecake. This is a recipe that you don't want to miss. And then it was time for us to dive in to this week's episode.
When you've never actually tried to conceive or been pregnant, you know, I've been abstinent most of my adult life, and so I've never tried to get pregnant and started trying at 41, which is technically a very late time. And so we were referred to the NHS by my GP to be considered for IVF, but we knew that the cut-off date was age 42, which I turn in 3 months' time. Had some tests in February 2024. Was told 3 to 6 months I should hear back. July came, nothing. August came, nothing. September, my husband said, you need to chase this up. So chased it up, nothing. And I just was so frustrated, because I'd been sat waiting all this time. You know, life's going on, different things are happening, and it's just relentless, absolutely relentless. I finally spoke to someone, I think in October 2024. And you know, when you're speaking to someone who sounds like they have just come out of high school, and they sound like, I think I asked the question, what is the timescale in terms of when you've had your baseline tests to you being contacted to arrange a consultant appointment? And this person said, the NHS waiting times have really been pushed back because of different challenges, etc. in the NHS. And she said that the waiting time is now 18 months. Well, of course, by 18 months, I would have turned 43 and wouldn't be eligible for NHS IVF treatment. I literally came off that phone call and broke down in tears to my husband, and I just felt this pain, like someone had gut punched me. And it was just like, she said probably 18 months, and I just thought something can't be right. And so I made a complaint to pals and anybody who is under NHS for anything, and you're having any challenges with information or delays, I'd definitely contact pals. They expedited our case, and my husband was then booked in for a semen analysis, and we were contacted and told and given a consultant appointment, which was today. Now, bearing in mind, I turn 43, as I said, in 3 months. So I'd already said I'm not expecting anything because my husband already has a child, and there's some other eligibility criteria knowing I was turning 43 and all of that. Anyway, we get on the consultation call this morning, and you know, when you take a deep breath, because you're just like, oh my gosh, like, I just started to feel really anxious, and the Teams thing wasn't working, and just all this stuff, and I was just like, and yeah. But I'd already told myself, whatever the outcome of this, we're going to do it privately anyway. So she went through our test results, and my husband, he was kind of fearful about his results for his sperm, and I knew that, you know, my age would have impacted like my AMH levels and all of that sort of thing. And then at the end of it, she said, you're eligible for 1 round of IVF treatment on the NHS. And I literally froze in shock, because we've literally waited, it's been about 10 months to hear this information, and I'm still in shock. We haven't even told family yet. It basically means that I've got a first appointment in 2 days' time. I literally feel like I've won the lottery or something, and I'm fully aware of the risks of it not going how we want it to go and all of that. Fully aware of that. But just to be given the opportunity to have free treatment on the National Health Service that I pay into, my husband pays into, to start our journey, feels like such a blessing and a gift at the age of 42. And I just want to encourage anyone out there, don't give up. Make your complaint, contact who you need to contact, and keep hope alive. I think that's the main thing for me on this journey. It's been keeping hope alive, and the hope of having our family grow. I have a beautiful stepson, and we want to expand our family, and I'm excited. As you can hear in my voice, like, I've been unwell, so that's why I sound a little bit raspy. But today's a good day, and thank you for those of you who have been following the journey, and we hopefully are going to take you on this next part of it. And in particularly for Black women, it's not something that we talk about, IVF treatment, but it's really important that you explore all your options on that journey to motherhood, whether that's adoption, whether that's fostering, whether that's even if you're having donor eggs or donor embryos, whatever it is, to achieve your family. I'm just so grateful to God. So we're going to go out and I think get something to eat to celebrate, and then it's back to continuing our healthy lifestyle, our prenatals, and like I said, we've got our first appointment in 2 days' time. So I'm excited and nervous at the same time, but yeah, so here we go. Today we have our first IVF appointment at St Mary's Hospital in Manchester. A little bit nervous, as can be expected. I mean, we're just doing the initial tests, as our previous tests are no longer valid. So we're doing bloods to check hormone levels, AMH, HIV, all of that, and then I've got an ultrasound, vaginal ultrasound, which I just hate. Here's to the start of this journey. Here we go. So just got back, from the gym. Today was a good day. Today was the start of our IVF journey. It was actually so different to how it was the first time we went for our baseline tests in February 24. What I noticed was the majority of women that were waiting were, I'd say, 40 plus. There was so much, you know, when people have that look of fear and dread on their faces, it was like that. And it's the reality of the unknown, isn't it? Some of these women would have been in the same position that my husband and I were in February, where they'd be having their baseline tests, so haven't actually been accepted for treatment, and so that has its own fears attached to it. So I could feel the tension in the room. Hubby and I have really small veins, which is bizarre because we work out and have a really healthy lifestyle, and the nurses were also surprised because they could tell that we were healthy, but they basically could not find a vein, and so opted for the left, and every time I go to have bloods it's the same thing. And then for hubby, they could not find any blood. It's like, what? And basically he was dehydrated. So a tip, guys, make sure when you are going to do your bloods that you are well hydrated. They recommend that you've eaten something as well. I hadn't eaten anything because I don't eat breakfast till like 10:30. But yeah, just make sure you're hydrated because it just helps with them drawing bloods. I then had the transvaginal maybe about 45 minutes later, and that was interesting because I'm on cycle day 14, which means that this month, the tricky thing is I haven't actually been tracking my ovulation window, so I missed the LH surge. So when I did do the LH surge test, it was very light, so I thought, I'm not sure if I have ovulated or not. I had the egg white cervical mucus, etc., but I'm just not sure at this point. Anyway, when we went to do the transvaginal, she said the uterus looks great, ovaries were great, and in terms of my follicles, she said I had 2 dominant follicles, which means 2 eggs basically. And she said basically get baby dancing now, today. So that was really great to hear that she could see that from the scan on this day. So kind of the timing was perfect, really. I need to kind of get used to these transvaginal assessments, because going through this process, that is what is going to be the norm. So I just need to get my head around it all. But all in all, I left feeling really hopeful and really thankful. So yeah, it was a really, really positive appointment. For anyone out there who is on this journey, I am with you. You know, we're trying to find our community, find people who can understand what we're going through, and it can be a really lonely journey, and I'm just learning to embrace each day, and I know that I've got some tough days ahead in terms of the medication side of things and how that's going to impact me, but I'm here for it. And as one of my colleagues said to me today, it's what's at the end of it is what keeps us going. And you know, we're aware of the risk, we're aware that there are complications, you know, you might need a few cycles, we're aware of all that, we've counted the cost, and we still think it's worth it. So if you're on your journey and you're not sure, you're worried, you're concerned, you're thinking, is this worth it? Do your research, talk to the right people, talk to your GP. My GP in this whole process has been amazing. When we had issues with communication from the reproductive medicine team and the NHS and not hearing from them, she chased it up for us, and she just showed real compassion and empathy. And for me, that goes a long way when you're in one of the hardest fights of your life. I am going to be documenting this journey because one thing I don't see is many black women over 40 in this space, and I really want my journey to help other people. We don't know where it's going to go, we don't know the outcome, but we're here, and that is really important in this space. So yeah.